with the dude was when he said about the accolades. Ain't nobody looking for that shit. And I think that's the reason why so many women are confused because you got little dudes like that say we look for accolades. No man is looking for accolades. So I don't know who the hell he talking, who he is, and what the hell he doing. But this is the reason why women are so confused because you have little old dudes saying we look for accolades and the rest of us aren't, and then the woman will say, well, he said this, right? So that's the first thing. The next thing is I don't know if y'all noticed, but the room was so quiet and laid back when he was talking. And then all of a sudden, when it went to the women, the whole room started getting right. And I was like, ooh, that is a sign that those women may not be as peaceful and quiet as they say they are, because how is the man talking and everything's quiet, but the second they get to talking, like, because it's certain things like that. So when it comes to somebody walking in a room, like he said, their aura, that's one thing. But at the same time, like I said earlier, that particular person may actually be walking in a room quiet like that because they're nervous, because they're an introvert or something. And that don't mean that they're that cool, that they're laid back. They're probably scared to death. There's a lot of introverts that don't know how to work a room, and they just walk in a room in a certain way, and you like, ooh, that person is scared to death and don't like people. So you have to sit back and observe people because that woman was I am peace and this and that. If you go back, if you play it again and see how loud that room got when that guy stopped talking, I was like, right there, right there. She was lying. Chicks be lying. Play it again. You'll see it. Them chicks lying. Just fast forward when he stopped talking.
Yeah, definitely.
Shoot, I'm trying to figure out what I can add to that.
You got it right. Come on, Al. You got the brother. Not you, philosopher. Come on now.
I know you got a book quote.
Yeah.
Bro, you better let me.
Journey, or her overcoming her traumas, or her spreading that message to other people. How infectious is she to her community? That's substance.
Oh, baby, I'm a woman of substance. You better let me know.
Yes.
You better let me know.
I'm glad you said it because I'm just
I'm gonna always give me my me.
It's big for men.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
Shoot, I'm trying.
I take that back, MLG.
You see how quiet and laid back the dudes when they talk, but when the women talk, it's like all this. That's what I'm saying right there. You have to make sure you observe people. And I'm not saying they were toxic, but you can just see in the octaves if those two people, just pick one and another one, was in the house together, they would not be equally yoked because you could tell how the octaves change. That is an example of what I was saying.
That's not fair, Mr. Let Go.
To that.
You got it right.
Oh, baby, I'm a woman of substance.
How infectious is she to her community? That's substance.
Oh, baby, I'm a woman of substance. You better let me know.
You
better let me know.
I'm glad you said it because I'm just
I'm gonna always give me my me.
It's big for men.
Yeah.
No, Mr. Lego, I don't see it.
I'm trying to figure out what I can add.
Spreading that message, just her being her. Just her walking through her journey, or her overcoming her traumas, or her spreading that message to other people. How infectious is she to her community? That's substance.
Oh, baby, I'm a woman of substance. You better let me know.
You better
let me know.
I'm glad you said it because I'm just
I'm gonna always give me my me.
It's big for men.
Yeah.
So let me just give y'all a secret, ladies. You can do what you want to do, but it will behoove you to not go over the octave of the man. Just a small little thought. But you know how he's like, the essence of this. Stay at that octave when it's your time to talk. Don't go over his octave because when you go over his octave, that kind of says instantly that because a woman is supposed to match a man's energy. A man doesn't supposed to match a woman's energy, right? So even though they're just on a podcast, there's nothing wrong. I'm not saying the women are crazy or toxic or whatever, but when a woman goes over the man's octave after he just got done talking, that says something about the woman. Not nothing bad, but that those two people aren't necessarily on the same wavelength, because we was talking about frequency.
All right, let me get Diamond in there. The essence of substance. Go ahead, Diamond.
Okay, so I feel like this is why we get to know people. This is why we want to date slowly. With what, it's Mr. Let Go, right? What he was saying, you don't want to just, let's say, like you just saw that video, you just saw him, and she earlier said, oh, I'm a very quiet woman. Yeah, cool, great. If they didn't decide to get to know each other at all, and just started dating right there, they would think they were a perfect match. And then later on down the line, they're not a perfect match. And that's why we date slow. We do first, second, third, fourth, fifth dates. We don't get married right away. I wouldn't recommend getting married right away. I've never been married, but it never seems to go out well or turn out well just because of stuff like that. And then to the, you want to stay on the same wavelength as the guy. I'm a more dominant woman. So me and that guy, if he's not a dominant man, we wouldn't be a good match. So you really need to get to know the guy. And I go off of vibes all the time, or energy. I feel like everybody has a substance, but some people's substance is good and some people's is bad. And you need to know which one matches yours. So that's why we don't want to rush into anything. We don't want to, you just want to get to know the person first, because there's a lot of people that do lie about who they are. And I used to do it all the time because I wanted to get over on people. You lie about who you are, you get over on them, and then you keep it moving. Now you done crushed 4 or 5 people and they're mad and you're like, well, I'm doing my thing. And that's wrong. But
people.
Diamond, when you say you need a domineering man, have those been the best? From my experience, it kind of seems like the opposites attract in that nature. Like I hear a lot of women say, I'm a dominant woman, so I need a dominant man. But most men who would assume or consider themselves dominant kind of shy away from that. So how is the interaction with men who you consider dominant been? Has it been fruitful, or has it been like repelling, or how does that work?
So it really depends on on a dominant man. It's very individual, at least in my case. So, I always say I like a feminine man. I'll date a feminine man, but I'll always cheat on him with a more dominant masculine man. And I know that's horrible, but every single time. And it's because if you're able to dominate me at first, so the first thing is I'm going to butt heads, because that's just what I do. I'm going to butt heads. I'm not aggressive with it. I'm going to feel you out first. I'm going to chill out. And then I'm going to look and I'm going to be like, oh, you want me to do this? No. I just want to see who you are. I just want to feel you out, because I'm going to tell you who I am, but I'm dominant. But if you say you're more dominant than me, then we're going to feel you out. Now, the ones that are more dominant than me, it tends to work out pretty well, because I'm like, if you can dominate me, well, baby, go ahead. But I'm a difficult person to dominate. So I just tell people kind of straight up front, like, I'm probably not the one for you, bruh, but if you want to do this, go ahead, So
Diamond, if I told you to shut the hell up, you gonna shut the hell up?
If you want me to shut the hell up, sure. But if we're dating or something, I'll probably keep talking for a little while and then shut up later on.
You would not keep talking. You would shut the hell up.
Like, you mean if you and I were dating?
Yeah, if I told you shut the hell up, you gonna shut the hell up?
I probably wouldn't. I probably would be a little bit, I wouldn't have anything to say, but I wouldn't shut up. I'd walk around humming or do something little petty shit, because that's who I am. And I'd be like, oh, you want me to shut up? Well, all day. Because I got to bring you that chaos. That's just what I do.